Hey guys, it's Christy. It is day 18 of the Facebook Live Challenge. 18 straight days of doing a Facebook Live video, whether I'm ready for it, whether you guys are ready for it or not. So, welcome to day 18. My name's Christy Hostler. I'm the founder of Team Podcast, which is a full-service podcast production company, as well as the host of Podcast Rescue that are in the messy middle of their podcast. So, we've been doing a soft launch kind of since through this hurricane season, and then I'll be going full-blown with getting my act together with that very soon as the first of the year hits. So, I wanted to talk to you today about one particular aspect. Oh, hey Pam, there you are. Here I am. I know I was walking around the house. I'm sitting on the back dock here for a minute before I get started working, and my neighbors had just come in, so I happened to see them as they were bringing a bunch of stuff in. So they are snowbirds, so we're seeing them for the first time really since the hurricane hit. So I got held up talking and socializing. So, but that's why we love what we do. So anyway, so I wanted to talk to you about one thing that we talked. One of the very first Facebook Lives I did was about why you shouldn't ask for iTunes reviews. And there are some valuable things that you can get out of iTunes, but reviews is not really one of them. And so one of those things that you want instead of iTunes reviews, and it's not just on iTunes, you want it on any podcast app you have, is subscribers. Now, I'll tell you what happened. Whenever iTunes went and redid their iOS update, they did, I think it was iOS 11 or something like that, where they were getting ready for these stats. They're getting ready for all the things that they're doing with stats for podcasts. And what they did is I don't know if it was a bug or a glitch, but a bunch of people complained about it because if you typed something on your mobile phone in iTunes, in the podcast app, it would return 4 search results. So let's just say your topic is infertility. If you typed in infertility in the the podcast app on your iPhone, what would happen is 4 search results would be returned. And then it would have a see all, and if you hit see all for podcast, it would give you 8 results. So here's the thing. Right now, I checked about 3 or 4 different topics. And it looks to me right now on my version, and I'm not sure if I'm on the latest version of iOS 11 or not. Sometimes I keep from doing upgrades because I think they're going to blow me up, so I don't do them all the time. But there right now it looks like there's about 38 that it's limiting to. So what happens is iTunes looks at what you're doing as far as subscribership, what you're doing as far as like velocity of your shows over a certain period of time and that sort of thing. And they begin ranking them. So many times that 38 could be a ranking of whatever their algorithm is on iTunes. Excuse me. So what that means is, like, if there's more than 38 shows that are for your particular keyword, like I think of a highly used keyword like marketing or sales or something like that, there's going to be more than 38 podcasts that are going to be in that category or have that as a key word. And what happens is if you're not at least in the top 38, your show is not even going to be shown to mobile users. And mobile users are going to be your biggest podcast listeners. So one of the things you want to do is encourage your listeners to subscribe to your show on whatever podcast app they are listening on, because they might be listening on Radio Public, they might be listening on Stitcher, they might be listening on Google Play Music, on Podcast Republic, on Castro, on Overcast. They might be listening on all these different things, and what popular apps are going to rank your show compared to every people the most relevant matches whenever they search. So you want to make sure you're found, and by being encouraging people to be a subscriber of your show, then yours will get better search results. So I just wanted to share that with you. So quit asking for iTunes reviews. Start telling people to subscribe to your show. That way your show will be waiting for them. The next time they open their podcast app and click play, your show will be in their playlist and they won't have to do anything to get it. So get subscribers on iTunes, on whatever podcast app, and say it that way to your listeners. Your listeners, if they're not iTunes users, they don't like to hear you talking about iTunes all the time. They just want to know that you're going to be on the app they're listening on, whatever app you're listening listening to me on, if you will hit the subscribe button, my show will be in your inbox or on your download on your device every time you go and every time I release a new show. So those are things that you can do to help get your search rankings up, help get yourself placed in the top 38, whether it's on iTunes. I don't know how limited the other apps are because, I don't know if there's any consistency with what they're doing either, but it's going to be a ranking. I noticed yesterday I searched a couple of topics like, private practice and infertility and a few other things that I knew, and I knew I had shows in my head that I know, like we produce them or other people produce them, and they weren't even showing up on the list. So those are things that I've got to work with people on, is to get people to subscribe to your show. It's so much easier to subscribe to a show than it is to leave a review anyway. so you're doing them a favor, you're doing you a favor, and you'll be higher in the search rankings. So anyway, you guys, I'm going to very soon be offering some things to you, some little free cheat sheets and things like that. So hoping to spend some time over Christmas getting all for you, as well as some new podcast rescue episodes. So working hard on that. And I hope you have a fantastic day. And I hope that you get a little bit more ready for Christmas today than you were yesterday, because it's now less than a week away. A week from now, you'll be pulling out the sweatpants saying you ate too much and now you got too much goodies left around and got to clean up the house. Oh, and then take the decorations down. And then it gets a little bit depressing when you take decorations down. My answer to that is, don't put them up. Then you don't have to. Or you could do like we do. We have a lighted palm tree that we keep in our house lit year round. And so we're always ready for Christmas or just the tropics, either one. So anyway, thanks for joining me. I'll see you guys here tomorrow for day 19. All right, have a good day.